walk through Hostage Square every morning because it's near my house, and I take my dog through there. We take a walk every morning. This morning I went before I came here.
Wow.
At 6 a.m. in the morning, I was there. I had tears in my eyes. There's no question. It's been overwhelming. It's been an overwhelming experience these 2 years. And I don't think any of us really believed it would end relatively well. It's relative. We have to admit it's relative because we're going to be getting back, unfortunately, bodies of hostages today as well.
Hopefully all of them.
Right. Hopefully all of them. But we'll be getting back bodies. We can't forget all the soldiers that died along the way. It's been a terrible, terrible 2 years for Israel. But still, it's a hope, a beacon that these families are finally going to be reunited. These families we've gotten to know over these last 2 years, and their fight, and it became all of our fights, and it became part of us very much. And for those people, for those 20, hopefully it's a happy ending. I mean, we don't know what conditions some of them are going to be in. I'm sure there are going to be some disappointments along the way, but emotionally, this is a release that we all desperately need. You know, walking around Tel Aviv these last 3 days, for the first time, people said Boker Tov or Erev Tov, and they meant it. They meant it. And
a sense that the Tov, that the good is making a comeback.
You could sit at a Beit Cafe, at a coffee shop, not feel guilty. I mean, I think all of us, we didn't all sit in our houses and cry for the last 2 years. But the reality is every time we went out, every time we celebrated something, there was a little bit of us that said, we can't, how are we doing this? Those poor guys or women earlier were sitting in tunnels, and we're going to celebrate. We're eating out in restaurants, etc.
But it is more than just the story of the individual or individuals, plural. It is a story. And again, we said at the beginning of the broadcast, all cliches are relevant on this day. It is a story about values and morals because, and perhaps we'll connect the story to diplomacy here, because in the earlier phases of the re-involvement of President Trump in what is unfolding here, genuinely speaking, he couldn't grasp why those Israelis are insisting on the bodies as vehemently as they are insisting on the living ones, right? And I think that with persistence, Israel was able to explain that it is something deeper.
Look, in some ways, I'm not a great believer in miracles, but it was a miracle that the hostage families managed to reach President Trump at such an emotional level.
Right.
He is not known to be a emotive president. We don't see him with a lot of emotions towards very many things, even towards his. We just don't see it. And yet
he really cares.
He deeply cares. There's absolutely no question about it. We've seen it time and time again. Even, I guess, 4 or 5 months ago when the hostages that got out met with him in the Oval Office, you could see how much he actually cared and related to these people. Now, I've always said, and I've said on this channel many times, the one thing we can't forget about Donald Trump, he may not know a lot about Vietnam and he may not know a lot of things, but as a New York State real estate broker, he knows about Israel.
Right.
I had him as the Grand Marshal of the Salute to Israel Day parade on the 40th anniversary of Israel when I ran the parade. He knows Israel.
He knows Israel, he knows Jews, he knows,
right. This is, you look there, you look at on Saturday night, you look at Witkoff, you look at his daughter, and you look at Jared. 3 Jews. They represented the United States, and they brought this deal to an end. And they cared. You couldn't.
You cannot fake it.
Right. Those 3 people, you couldn't fake how much they really cared. And, and of course, to many of us, it's a contrast to so much of our own government, which is the most amazing thing in terms of emotion. I'm not talking about what they actually did or didn't do, but the emotional attachment that President Trump and his family and the American government generally, and even Biden before that, seemed to have to this issue. It's unbelievable.
Again, and no way to fake the fact that the heart of the American administration is beating alongside the Israeli heart.
And you heard him last night getting on the plane. Right. I'm sure he wants a big deal in Sharm el-Sheikh, but he seemed genuinely happy to be coming because the hostages are being released. Right. How often do you see President Trump genuinely happy? With that, it's amazing.